I'm currently juggling growing a multiple six-figure coaching business, raising two young girls, a 4-month-old and a 4-year-old going on 13. We are preparing to move countries. I remain in the best physical shape of my life, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And I have never felt so in flow with life as I do now. And in this video, I want to share my flow formula, the 7 steps to living in this flow state. And if you've not experienced flow state, the only way I can try and describe it as this feeling of effortlessness, this feeling of ease and alignment, where it's kind of flowing through you, life comes through you, and things kind of seem obvious. You feel inspired to take action. It's not forceful, it's not effortful, it's easeful. And I'm going to unpack exactly how I've got here. And before we get stuck in, if you're new here, my name's Joel. I'm a business coach to heart-led coaches, and I record these videos daily. And the goal is to help you become more powerful in your being, more potent in your coaching, and more profitable in your business. Now, I really believe you can have it all. And I think that belief is the first step in this. We are so conditioned that it's got to be hard, it's got to be forced. And that was me for most of my life. And recently, I've actually realized that the opposite is true. By doing less and focusing on fewer things, you actually get way more done. But I really believe you can have it on all. So I walk 10 to 15,000 steps every day. I work out every day for about 45 minutes to 60 minutes. I take my daughter into preschool. That takes me about an hour. I finish every day at 5:30. I have 2 afternoons, maybe 3 afternoons off every single week. My business is growing and it's set to double again the second year. And I record a daily YouTube, I record a daily reel. I coach around 10 one-to-one clients. I have 40 people in my coaching community. And this all feels very easeful. And that's the most important part to me. It feels easeful and I'm totally in love with my life. Now, I share this not to brag, but I just know what I'm about to share with you works. Now, the first part of living in flow, I believe, is alignment. And the first part of alignment is knowing who you are. For me, it's been really useful to know my entrepreneur archetype. So there are 5 entrepreneur archetypes: the consultant, the coach, the mentor, the creator, and the builder. And by knowing who I am, like I'm more of a creator and a mentor / coach. So I need space in my diary, but I also like to be with people. So I intentionally design my calendar to bring out the best in me, to align with the person that I am, because you will not grow into pain. So by being really clear on who you are and having that self-awareness, you can then create and design your calendar and life to align with who you are. This has led me to creating what I call my perfect average day, a day that I could live for the rest of my life. And I'm, obsessed almost with just living this day over and over and over again. And I'm really strict with myself and I have really high standards about living this day. Now, of course, I get thrown off now and again, but I always just try and come back to my perfect average day. And I change it, I evolve it to the conditions and circumstances of my life. Obviously, with 2 young girls, I have to be adaptable. Another important part of this alignment is having the awareness of the season you're in. I think we can self-sabotage by not aligning our goals with the season we're in. So I'm in a season right now of fatherhood. We've just had a young second daughter, and that's really important to me. One of my most important values is family. And knowing that allows me to be a little bit more perhaps realistic with my goals. And it doesn't mean I'm not stretching myself. Trust me, I'm stretching myself, but I'm looking more for quantum leaps within that. But knowing the season you're in is really important. Just it gives that self-awareness and it allows you to really align with your goals and your actions and your designing your calendar. Final part of this alignment is creating goals that you feel aligned to. I hear so many coaches say to me, I want to make 10K months. I'm like, why? What's magic about that number? Yes, it's a nice round number, but it often shows to me that they haven't thought about what that actually means to them. I have a very clear financial goal because I know exactly what that money will do for me. For me, the things that are really important to me are health, family, and travel. So I spend all my money on those things, but I know that my financial goal will enable me to step even more into that world and be able to invest more into biohacking and more into travel and look after my family even more. So aligning your goals to, what your heart wants and what's important to you will give you that oomph. It will give you that alignment. So the first step is alignment. The second step of this flow formula for me is cultivating creative force. Now, I believe inside of all of us, we have this creative force. We are innately creative beings. And I make it a priority every single day, especially as a coach, a thought leader, an authority, where our ideas are basically our currency, right? I make it a priority every single day to cultivate this creative force. And this is about finding your way in this. But for me, this is time in nature. This is exercise. This is daily dance. And that's probably the most important thing for me. It's breath work. It's stillness. It's journaling. It's being bored. So I tailor and design my calendar to really bring out this. And this is the most important thing in my day, because if I'm not creating this, cultivating this creative force, I'm not creating great content. I'm not coaching well. I'm not turning up for my family the way I want to. It's my number one standard in my day. The third step in this flow formula is what I call my weekly anchor. Now, this has been something I've been doing for maybe the last 5 to 6 years. And I would say it's been probably the one habit that's had the biggest impact on my life. Now, it's super easy. Essentially, I now do it on a Friday, but I usually used to do it on a Sunday. I essentially carve out time to plan the week ahead. And what I do is I firstly plan in my non-negotiables. So firstly, cultivate creative force, stillness, time in nature, exercise, walking, boredom, dance. These are all things that go in my diary first. Nothing moves this. This is sacrosanct for me, and I have incredibly high standards for these. The second is my magic time. So my magic time is between 5 and 7 a.m. This is actually magic time right now. And I plan and schedule in what I'm going to work on that time. So when I get to it, I'm not thinking, I'm not guessing what to do. I just know what to do. Like this video, I got here, I knew what video I was going to record, and boom, I'm away. The next is deep work. So this is, carved out time to work on the big projects. And I'm going to talk about that in a bit. And then the others is time with family. And actually that's my second thing is time with family. So I take my daughter in every day. I finish at a certain time to be with my family. I also have tennis lessons and fun planned in with my family. And that's actually before my work. So it's health, the cultivating creative force, and then family. And those are the things I schedule into my calendar, and I kind of let go of everything else, because what gets scheduled gets done. There's a great quote by Stephen Covey who said, most people prioritize their schedule, but the key is to schedule your priorities. If you don't schedule your priorities, you'll just live by default and you'll just drift through life. So we've got aligned, we've got clear on who we are and what we want, and then we've designed it in to our calendar, and it's really that simple. The hard part comes in remaining disciplined with your standards. The fourth part of the flow formula is, again, really simple but hard in execution. It's one thing at a time. This isn't acquired through a hack or apps on your phone. This is acquired through mastering your mind and your body. I've meditated maybe for the last 5-6 years, and I've developed a level of self-mastery, a level of mind mastery, and also body, because what keeps us often from focusing on one thing at a time is an addiction to control. Because when we focus on one thing at a time, we have to let go. We have to relinquish control of all these other things, WhatsApps, emails. But if we haven't trained our body to be okay in losing control, we will jump to those things because our body will feel icky. Our body will feel like, oh, I need to check my emails. I need to check my WhatsApp. I need to do this, this, and this. So I've developed a level of self-mastery in my mind, but also in my body. I'm able to regulate myself when I sense this feeling of, oh, I really want to control things. I really want to, and for me, it's kind of a feeling of anxiousness, of fidgetiness. And what I'll do is I'll just do some grounding breaths, some centering, maybe some shaking if it's very extreme. But this mind-body mastery has allowed me to focus on one thing at a time. Honestly, being effective is so simple. It's about focusing on the most important, the highest leverage task and letting go of everything else. That is a skill that I've totally mastered, and it's why my business is growing and growing fast, because I focus on the important and let go of everything else. And on this theme, the fifth part of this flow formula is embracing the mayhem. Very aligned with what I just talked about, but this is a phrase that I live by, but it's completely changed my life. And I think I got it from the book, The One Thing. Amazing book, very simple, but amazing book that changed a lot for me. But embracing the mayhem is about knowing that everything's out of control. Life is wildly out of control. Business is wildly out of control. And your addiction to wanting to control it and to put everything in boxes and have all your ducks in a row is keeping you small. It's keeping you stuck, and it's keeping you focusing on the little things, the small things, the things that you can get immediate control over, like your emails, like your WhatsApps, like your Instagram messages. All of that stuff is easy. It will give you a sense of control. It will give you a sense of progress, but it's not going to move your business forward. Developing a discipline of focusing on the important and letting go of everything else and embracing the mayhem is going to completely transform your business. Like my business by the end of the day, or like my desk by the end of the day, is total mayhem because I'm just, monomaniacally focused on the really important things. And this has just been a total game changer for me. The last thing I'll say on this is that this also means surrendering to the outcome. This is a principle that I've lived by, which is surrender to the outcome and go all in. That quote, I think I took from Brené Brown, and it's just what I remind myself all the time. Whenever I get attached to the outcome, I just let it go. If I am focused and disciplined on my actions, on the things that I can control, that's all I can do. If I just do my best, that's all I can do. And I know that's super cliche, but it's cliche because it's true, guys. So surrender to the outcome and go all in. When you do that, you stay disciplined, that's when flow happens. I'm fully committed to the actions and totally unattached to the outcome. So the sixth part of the flow formula is my magic time. And I've mentioned this before, but this is the work I do between 5 and 7 a.m. And I've woken up at 5 a.m. for the last 6 to 7 years. I'm not going to say it's for everyone, but for me, it has completely changed everything. Because by the time my family wakes up, I've already made massive progress and I can feel super proud of myself. I wake up, I meditate, I move, I dance, I journal, and then I get into my most important task. So for me right now, this is this YouTube. It's 6:30, 7 o'clock's coming, and my family will wake up, and I've already achieved so much. It means often by the time it's 11, maybe midday, I've done the day and I can take the afternoon off. This is the power of magic time. And if you want to learn how I built discipline around my magic time, check out my video where I talk about discipline. I think it will be up there. The final part is systems. Now, my business, my life is super simple, and simplicity is such an important part of living in flow. I literally have 2 things I do in a week. I have my non-negotiables and 1 project. So my non-negotiables, I call my 4 C's: cultivate creative force, coach, create, and conversations. If I don't do those 4 things every single day, my business moves forwards. And for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's all I do. I focus on those 4. Once I'm done. I allow myself to be bored. I go down to the pool and chill. Monday and Friday, I focus on my projects, or 1 project. And the 1 project is focused on the biggest bottleneck that I have at that time. That bottleneck will either be in lead gen, lead nurture, conversion, delivery, or retention. And I just have 1 project at a time that I'm focusing on. You can see now how simple this is. So Monday, I focus on my 1 project, obviously do the 4 C's still. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I just do my 4 C's. And Friday, I do my 4 C's and 1 project. I only focus on the things that need me to be doing, like creating this content. Everything else, I have systems or my VA doing. Like this video, for example, I will shoot it, I'll upload it, my VA will edit it, distribute it to my LinkedIn, my Instagram, to my email. It's all done. All I need to take care of is the most important thing, which is recording this content. Having systems is really what supports the effort. For me, I just turn up, do the actions that matter, and my systems and my VA take care of everything else. This has been a total game changer for me. And this has really allowed me to live in this flow state, which I think, as I said at the start, is what we're all searching for. So if I was to summarize this all into a formula, I would say discipline plus surrender plus systems equals flow. That is your flow formula. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope it's been useful. If it has, give it a like. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. As I said, I'm recording these daily. And if you have any topics you would like me to riff on around business, around embodiment, around leadership, around building authority and building a brand, around discipline, consistency, and self-mastery, then drop me a message on Instagram or LinkedIn and make sure you follow me there. Again, so much amazing, juicy content planned and coming up. And thank you for staying around, sending you so much love, and have a beautiful day wherever you are in the world.